Well, welcome to another edition of Rush Licks, and today I'm going to basically walk through Cygnus X-1 from the Farewell to Kings album, and not only just to, in fact, subordinately to teach the song. My main reason is to show how I learn and how I remember, more importantly, a very complicated song such as this. So, all of my other philosophies still apply to breaking down simple, short, really difficult pieces and listening to them 100 times in a row or whatever until I know exactly what it is, maybe writing them out myself in notation, playing them slowly and a little bit faster until I can play them perfectly, and then I put them in the song context. That all applies, but for this song, first of all, it's, I don't know, probably 10 minutes long or 10:30 or whatever. Now, granted, there's probably 3 or 3.5 minutes where there's no drumming. But as someone who has played second trombone in a school band for 4 years, I did an awful lot of not playing because we were sort of rhythm keepers of the bass section. And so we had long pauses, like 48 bars of rest or 85 bars of rest or whatever. And so it's, in a way, it's more important to be intimately related or intimately familiar with all of the music when you're not playing the whole song than it is to be if you are playing the whole song. Because if you are playing the whole song, just by the fact that you're playing the whole song makes it necessary that you have to be familiar with the whole song. If you're taking 3 minutes off, the tendency is to go have a smoke or, you know, go to Dreamland for 38 bars or whatever, and then, oh, I'm supposed to play here. So, and this is particularly noticeable in the beginning of this song because basically, I don't know, I don't really play for the first 2 minutes and 10 seconds or whatever. There's just, you know, ethereal keyboards, and then the bass starts really low. Do do ba do do. Do do ba do do do. Do do ba do do. Do do ba do do do. Do 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 ba do do. And so, if I fast forwarded that part and played it starting, you know, a couple of bars before the drums began every time, I wouldn't have such an intimate knowledge of how to play along to that bass part because I never really listened to the bass part. I mean, I do, but if I were never to have listened to the first couple of minutes of the song, I would be counting, and I would have to think about the time signatures and all of those things. And incidentally, you know, the time signatures of that part are 4 different time signatures. The 4 bars are 4 different time signatures, which I never even consider. I mean, that's the way it works out when you work it out and put the notes down on paper. But I've never thought, oh, well, those must be all in different time signatures because, you know, intellectually I know, blah, 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 blah. No, I don't think like that. I think musically, and I just play what I need to play. So, by virtue of knowing the bass part, understanding what he's playing, I can play along with it very easily and get the stops and starts because I just listened to it 15 times in a row, or however many it is, you know, and it keeps getting louder, and he's basically just playing the same bars over and over again. So when I start with the it's not hard for me to just follow the bass and know that the first time there's 2 quarter notes rest, so it's ba da ba da ba 1 2 ba 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 da ba ba 1 2 ba 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 da ba, and then the third time it's 1 2 and ba 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 da ba. So if you're counting in quarters, it's 2.5 because it's a dotted quarter rest to end the third bar. Or if you're counting in eighths, you count up to 5. Whatever, however you want to count it, I don't care. I don't count it. I just know that there's that extra 1 ba ba da ba 1 2 ba 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 da ba ba 1 2 ba 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 da ba 1 2 and out 1 ba ba da ba. So, that's the easiest way of getting through that first little part of, I don't know, 9 bars or whatever it is, 10 bars. I guess it's 12 bars. All right, so for those first 4 bars, when I'm playing the 4 bar along with the 4 bar bass pattern, okay, if you want to know, it's 5-4 for the first bar, 6-4 for the second bar, 11-8 for the third bar, which I count as 5.5-4, and that's where that extra little dotted quarter note is at the end rest, and then the last bar is 4-4. Okay, so it's 5-4, 6-4, 11-8, 4-4. But I never think, oh gee, how the hell am I gonna make all this work? Because it just fits, because I've already listened to that bass pattern a million times. So then begins the next little section of the song. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do is exhaustively go through the whole song by bar. I mean, sure, there are certain bars I'm just going to say, yeah, I need to do that 10 times or whatever. I'm not going to demonstrate every little part. I'm just showing you how I get into these songs and how I think of them as a drummer and a timekeeper, and how I keep my place, and how I remember what I'm supposed to play, and of course how I learn how to play it in the first place. Okay? So let's go on to the second part.